You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Good morning and welcome to Triviality, the game where lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Sven.
I hate it.
and I am here at the precipice of greatness, introducing what I believe to be the greatest and almost not greatest podcast in the world.
What is this?
I don't know what this voice is.
It's like a bad Vincent Price.
Yeah, I thought it was Vincent Price at first. I thought this was a horror cast.
You mean it's Balky's grandfather?
Exactly, Balky's grandfather. Yes, this is Triviality. Neal here, joined by Ken and Jeff in the studio, wearing masks, as is the new protocols here that we've all signed on to.
Mine is a Michael Myers mask, though.
Yours is a Michael Myers mask. Jeff is a mask made of human skin, but we will never say where the skin came from, because that would be incriminating. Right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Matt...
So you're leaning into the weirdest intro you've ever done.
It is very strange. But Matt, you're here, coming to us from Hollywood, with your Perfect Strangers background.
Mm-hmm.
And where did Perfect Strangers take place on the show?
Chicago.
It was Chicago. Okay, so that does look like a Chicago living room there with the dark wood tones and
classic bungalow style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Matt?
I'm good. Settling into the new place. Hypothetically, loving it so far out in Hollywood.
Yeah, you got a parking spot, which is good. You can shield yourself from tourists.
Well, I'm very close to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, so most of my life is surrounded by Spider-Man impersonators.
Well, just remember, if they want to take a picture with you, do not do it, because they're going to want to tip. But we have some very special guests with us today. Our first guest is coming to us just north of Boston, and she sent us one of the coolest pictures as an introduction when she became a Patreon supporter, which we appreciate. And it was a picture of her and her husband dressed up as two people that we are very fond of here at Triviality. And who are those people, Erin?
Hi, I'm Erin. So my husband is a big wrestling fan, and he grows a beard every fall and winter. And so his Halloween costume always has to involve a beard. And though growing up in the 80s, his favorite wrestler was Roddy Piper, he dressed up as Macho Man Randy Savage and convinced me to dress up as Hulk Hogan. And that pretty much exhausts my wrestling knowledge right there.
Well, it was a great picture, and we loved seeing it. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Sure.
So I live just a little bit north of Boston in Melrose, Massachusetts, with my husband and our two kids and our dog. And I work at Harvard, and I've been listening to the podcast for a couple of years.
Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate your support. And we hope that on one of the previous episodes, we told the story of being in Boston for Geek Bowl, and that we tried to sneak into one of the Harvard libraries.
We
trespassed. But they didn't let us in. But, next time maybe. I don't know.
That's smart enough.
Yeah.
Call me.
We did eat pizza, apparently, where Zuckerberg used to always eat pizza.
Yes.
Because Neal insisted on going there.
Yeah. I can't remember the name, but it was good. It was okay.
And then we spent 5 hours.
It was not that good.
And then we spent 5 hours trying to find the best cannoli in Boston.
That was good. The cannoli was good.
Was it the best cannoli in Boston?
I don't think I've ever had a cannoli that I could differentiate from another cannoli.
The best type of cannoli is after you've killed another mobster. And then you leave your gun, but you take the cannoli because it's so good because you just escaped death.
I'm going to find you the best cannoli in the world and then buy one from Jewel and see if you can tell the difference.
Okay. Hey, I know my cream, so don't test me. Anyway, but yes, thank you very much for being here, Erin. And our special guest host today who wrote the questions. We've been trying to get him on the show for a long time, and I do want to say thank you to him for not only being a Patreon supporter, but also playtesting most of the games that come on Triviality. He's one of our biggest playtesters, and you can join him in the crop. So if you're a host, you can post in there that you need some playtesters, and he will surely be one of them. But that is Louie de Roxas, and he's also coming to us from Massachusetts. And he just received a COVID test that I drove cross country to give to him. So how did that go?
It was good. The test itself wasn't that bad. I got a negative result, and in this case, negative is a passing test. So that's I'm pretty happy about it.
Negative is good.
Yeah, I had a dream about getting a COVID test and that they wouldn't let me get out of the car, and the person giving the test either gave a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But when he gave the thumbs up, it's like, is that a good thing?
Is it positive?
Is it a positive, or is it no? It's negative. You're great.
Or is it like thumbs down, like in Gladiator, means you live?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So
it sounds like modern Seinfeld to me.
It is kind of like modern Seinfeld. You're right.
Well, Neal, if it's any comfort to you, 2 weeks ago we kissed, and I still haven't come down with COVID, so I think you're good.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Ken. So, Louie, what do you do out in Massachusetts? Do you also work at Harvard or no?
I do not work at Harvard, unfortunately. I'm somewhat close, though. I'm about an hour outside of Boston, northwest in Westford. I work as a field engineer for a utility company, and so spending a lot of my time doing engineering things.
Looks like it's going to be me and Jeff teaming up today once again. And we had a name that came up because our friend Earl Baum texted me and told me that Macho Man is the voice of Space Ghost's grandpa, which I had no idea about. So if you ever, there's a great video he showed me of Space Ghost grandpa interviewing Raven Simone. Just very random.
You guys are going to be Grandpa Space Ghost, right?
Grandpa Space Ghost.
And in the same vein, Matt and Erin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me being from Los Angeles now, her being on the East Coast, we're going to be coast to coast.
All right. It's Grandpa Space Ghost and Coast to Coast. Let's toss it over to the rules guy.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
I am the cream!
All right, well, we heard the rules. Louie has a full game written for us that we're excited to play. Erin and Matt versus me and Jeff. Let's get it started, everyone.
All right, great. So round 1, all general knowledge questions. Let's start it off with, in the 1996 movie Space Jam, the Nerdlucks steal the talents of 5 pro NBA players, thus forming the Monstars. Name 4 of the 5 NBA players that had their talents stolen.
All right, we are locked in.
Okay, quick lock-in from coast to coast.
So, Jeff, I know Ewing is one.
Yep, I know Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley.
Yep, Muggsy Bogues. So it's 3. I feel like Chris Mullin is one of them. I'm not certain, though, and I know there's one other one. Maybe whoever would have been the center. I guess Ewing would have been center. We just got to think of point guards. Hardaway? No.
Was Space Jam accurate in court positionings?
I don't know. It's all up in the air when you're playing in space, right?
Yeah, like we can't take him. We already have a center. That's what they said.
There's no rule that says a monster can't play basketball. Let's just go Chris Mullin because I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I like this because I know we've been asked this a bunch of times. And Neal, I always feel like you're like, I got this. And then you get it wrong and it's sad. The 4 that I'm sure of are definitely Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Larry Johnson, and then Sean Bradley is the big, tall, white guy. And then the 5th one would be Muggsy Bogues, but we locked in with the first 4.
Yep. So the 5 that had their talents stolen were Charles Barkley, Sean Bradley, Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson, and Muggsy Bogues.
That's why I had Larry in my head.
Yeah, and I was thinking of the Dream Team, not the Monstars. Although they were Monstars across the world.
Yeah. Erin did know that Michael Jordan was in the movie, so
yeah.
she helped guide me
on that one.
She guided me to those answers.
Except the Looney Tunes actually stole Michael Jordan's talents.
That's right.
He did not actually volunteer in
Baseball
that movie.
Stole Michael Jordan's talents.
Just a reminder, he did not volunteer.
Who stole Wayne Knight's powers in that movie?
Seinfeld.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. So question 2 for round 1. All of the following things happened in what decade of the 20th century? So thing number 1, canned ravioli was first pioneered by Chef Boyardee. Thing number 2, the first FIFA World Cup took place in Uruguay. And 3, the Hindenburg explosion. So what decade of the 20th century did all these things happen?
We are locked in.
Okay. Oh, locked in quickly. All right, Erin, what are you thinking?
It's the 1930s.
30s?
Yeah.
Okay. That was what I was thinking too, because I remember just doing a thing on the Time Person of the Year, and I know that had nothing to do with this. Never mind.
Chef Boyardee,
the
Times
30s.
Person of the Year.
I was thinking the Lindbergh baby.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure the way I always remember when the Hindenburg is because I think it's 25 years after the Titanic, which is 1912. So that make it 37. And so we said the 1930s.
Yep, and Jeff is exactly correct. 1937 was Hindenburg explosion, so all these things happened in the 1930s. All right, so question 3 for round 1. The pairs of Scar and Simba, Poseidon and Apollo, and Red Foo and Sky Blue all have what in common?
I think we can actually lock in over here.
What do you think, Erin?
Are they like uncle and nephew?
So I know Scar and Simba are, and that would make, I think Poseidon and Apollo are 2, right? Because that's how the weird hierarchy works.
I think so.
So we can lock in with the uncle nephew thing.
We were in the very similar situation. There's a scene in Brooklyn Nine-Nine that always cracks me and Colleen up when Andy Samberg's character is locked in solitary in a jail, and he recites a line from Lion King where he goes, "Oh, Mufasa, did I miss it? That was simply awful." And he like scratches down the rock. Anyway, we believe Scar and Simba are uncle and nephew, so we locked in with the same.
And yes, so the answer here is uncle and nephew pairs. So Scar and Simba, Poseidon and Apollo, uncle and nephew. Red Foo and Sky Blue are the members to LMFAO.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Neil's favorite band.
Yeah.
That we recently discovered.
They're uncle and nephew?
They are, yeah, surprisingly.
That's weird.
They can really...
Very weird.
They really shuffle well. I thought they were the same age, but...
Yeah, for sure.
That I knew, but I did not know their names.
All right. So round 1, question 4. What coastal West African country is the largest producer of cocoa in the world, providing roughly 40% of the world's supply? And no, most of it is not white chocolate.
You guys are locked in?
Yep.
Okay, so we kind of went over a lot of countries, just talked about them, and then I asked Erin to just name her favorite West African country, and what did you say?
Senegal.
Yep. Steven Senegal, that's what we said.
I'm gonna break your elbow. Yeah, so we named a couple countries. We weren't sure what the clue or reference in the question was, but Jeff angled in on Angola, so that's what we locked in with.
So no points for this one. The country I was looking for was Cote d'Ivoire or the Ivory Coast.
White chocolate.
Oh, so
There's
yeah,
we said it. I subconsciously
Sorry.
I knew it. I should have pushed harder. Yeah, that was my bad.
All right. So round 1, question 5. What comedic actress is known for playing Karen in Will and Grace and one of Ron Swanson's ex-wives in Parks and Rec? Bonus fun fact, she is also married to Nick Offerman, who plays Ron.
We're locked in.
What is her name?
Oh, it's Megan
Mullally.
Mullally?
Yeah, because I always get it confused with Mulaney because of John Mulaney, and then I think it's Mullally. I think that's how you say it. Okay, so we're gonna lock in with Megan Mullally.
Yeah, we also locked in on Megan Mullally.
Points all around. Megan Mullally.
Do you have a John Mulaney impression in the tank, Ken, at all?
Not really.
No. You had to be really good with that one. It's almost so comical
You
that it's
kind of have to do the
Spider-Pig.
vocal fry.
Yeah.
But that's all I can.
Yeah, it's a
kinda
tough one.
do. Well, after 5 questions, looks like Coast to Coast has 40 points, coasting their way to the high score. And Grandpa Space Ghost has 30 points.
Got to catch up here, Jeff.
It's only 10 points.
It's not good enough.
Chill out.
Chill out.
Hey, so continuing round 1, question 6. Author Charles Lutwidge Dodgson is better known by what pen name that left fans growing curiouser and curiouser?
Dotson. Got Dotson here. See? Nobody cares. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
You didn't have to do it.
You're correct.
That's incorrect.
Okay, so you're locked in. Yeah, we're having a little bit of trouble here. Initially I thought it was a reference to Curious George, but I couldn't even tell you.
It could be.
I couldn't even tell you the author of Curious George. I know Curious George has no tail, which is a little weird.
Did you watch The Mandela Effect too on Netflix?
I saw a link about the Mandela Effect after you had posted it.
The movie is very bad.
I heard it was really, really good, so it must be a difference of opinion, or we're just getting it wrong.
Or different timelines.
Yeah. I don't know, like Steinbeck maybe, or...
Wait, is that Charles Dickens maybe?
Oh, yeah, maybe. We could try. We got Dickens wrong another recording. Let's try it again. We're going to go with the Dickens.
All right, well, this is all you, Erin, so what did you say?
So we think the Curiouser and Curiouser is referring to Alice in Wonderland, and then it's Lewis Carroll.
And yes, points. So the answer here is Lewis Carroll.
Sorry, Colleen. She's going to be so angry because she directed Alice in Wonderland. All right.
Yep, and you nailed the clue too. Curiouser and Curiouser was Alice in Wonderland. Great. All right, so question number 7. There have been 12 movies in the Air Bud franchise. Which of the following is not a movie in the Air Bud franchise? So I'm going to give you 4 options. I want which one is not a movie in the Air Bud franchise. Number 1, Air Bud 7th Inning Fetch. Number 2, Air Bud World Pup. Number 3, Air Bud Spikes Back. And number 4, Air Bud Personal Howl.
I hate them all.
Okay.
I have a lot of Air Bud knowledge, so we're going to have to discuss.
Okay.
All right, these guys are locked in. So what did you guys have?
So we had some discussion. I'm 100% positive that 7th Inning Fetch is one of them. And then Spikes Back, I think, is one too. So then we were between World Pup and Personal Howl. And I guess Personal Howl just sounded so dumb that it has to be one of them. So we locked in with World Pup.
So we had the opposite. I mean, we pretty much in line with what you said, but Personal Howl just felt really weird to us because golden retrievers don't really howl. Wolves howl unless there is an evil wolf character. But we just thought, there's no howling in baseball. So we went Personal Howl.
All right, so there are points this round. So 7th Inning Fetch was a baseball. Spikes Back was volleyball. World Pup was soccer, and Personal Howl is not part of the Air Bud franchise.
Gotcha.
That was 15 minutes of me trying to figure out a dumb pun that is almost passable. So so my feelings aren't hurt that you didn't get
you
it.
succeeded. Yeah. No, you did a great job, and I will say I haven't felt this much enjoyment of getting a question right than reasoning out Personal Howl not being the real one. So thank you.
You split the room.
All right, next question. The types sandhill, whooping, and telescopic are all types of what?
Okay.
I think we're good.
Excellent.
These guys are good. So what did you have?
Okay. So we started talking about whooping cough and quickly moved on from that. And then, Erin, what did you suggest?
We thought maybe I remembered whooping crane as a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember an episode of King of the Hill where they had to kill a whooping crane or something happened. So that's where my knowledge there was. So we said crane.
We had a very similar discussion. We knew it wasn't whooping cough as much as we wanted it to be, but we couldn't really come up with a good answer. And we said that these were all former names for the band Tag Team who sang "Whoop There It Is."
Great answer, but there are points here. So crane was the right answer. Sandhill and whooping are the animal crane, and telescopic, I threw that in there, is a machinery kind of crane, a telescopic crane.
I suggested that as a joke, and it was right.
He got us with the engineering knowledge. I thought they were all the same.
All right. So next question. Taal volcano is a volcano that most recently erupted in January of 2020. In what country is this volcano located? And Taal is spelled Taal.
We are locked in over here.
Okay. So our initial thoughts were with the spelling of Taal, I think it's possibly Asia Pacific, and that's a big volcano hotspot. So any countries in that area jumping out to you, Erin?
No, I mean, we could do, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia.
I think I like Malaysia. I think we can lock in with that. It sounds fun, I guess. Like a fun place for volcanoes. Why not? We're locked in.
All right, coast to coast with Malaysia. You guys?
Well, we tried to look into our knowledge from Tommy Lee Jones in Volcano and Pierce Brosnan and Dante's Peak. Didn't prove fruitful, but we thought it was in the same area that the other team was talking about. We mentioned Indonesia, Cambodia, And you know what? Just from the spelling of the name, we kind of zeroed in on Thailand. We're not sure if it's right, but that's our answer.
All right, so no points here. The country where Taal volcano is in the Philippines. Yep, and I'm Filipino-American, and my dad was actually trapped in the Philippines for a little while because of this eruption that happened earlier this year. So, fun little fact.
Oh, wow. He's okay, though?
Yeah, no, he's fine. Yeah,
okay, good.
Everything's good. They were evacuating, I think, the closest 14 kilometers, and he was at the 17 kilometer mark, so he was all right.
Man. 2020, what a year, right?
Crazy.
Barely anything happened this year.
Brush fires, volcanoes.
They'll brush over this year in the history books.
2020, nothing happened. Don't talk about it.
Skip ahead.
All right. So last question for round 1. It's a movie before and after. So I'm looking for 2 movies joined by a word. Shouldn't be too difficult, but here it is. Rob Minkoff directs an orphan mouse as he befriends a talking Venus flytrap.
We're
locked
in.
Yeah. Do you know this one, Erin?
No.
I believe that the talking mouse was what's his name? Michael J. Fox, Stuart Little.
Alex
and
B.
you're
Keaton.
looking at
Stuart, Shop of Horrors.
Yes, that's what we're locking in with.
Yeah, we said the same. We said Stuart Little Shop of Horrors.
Yep, and both teams nailed it. It is Stuart Little Shop of Horrors, which would be a great crossover.
Yes, it would.
And before I give the score update, quick shout out to the kid in the orphanage who got passed over for the mouse.
He always needed a shout out. That's all he needed in life, was just someone to give him a shout out or adopt him. But
that's how villain stories start.
Yeah, right.
A shout out or parents, whatever.
And with that, Coast to Coast trudges ahead with 70 points. Grandpa Space Ghost a little bit behind with 50 points.
Well, speaking of some fun jokes and shout-outs, we love having all of you over at the Crop, whether it's playing games on there, saying hello, hearing your name shouted out if you're joining Patreon, just like Louie and Erin. But it's pretty exciting to be over there. So if you have a chance, come hang out with us. You'll see new announcements. We are taking part in the 2021 trivia calendar, which we mentioned a few episodes ago. So if you want to get on that, you can go to triviacalendar.net. But speaking of Matt, who's here, Hollywood Matt now, as we're calling him, he's always going to be looking for questions in the Crop for some Patreon bonuses, right, Matt?
Yeah, so every month I'm going to post in the Crop kind of a feed. You can ask any questions. If you've ever had any questions for us, wanted to figure out what our favorite Spice Girl was. I think we already said it, but if we haven't said it recently, you can ask for that. We'll answer it on a special Patreon bonus. It's going to come out every single month. So just reply there, ask us some questions, and you'll get a shout out, and you'll be on the Patreon bonus episode.
Awesome.
Hollywood Matt is pretty similar to the old Matt, except he wears black now.
That's true. He's got just a tinge of eyeliner where you don't know if it is eyeliner or if it's just his complexion. Just a tinge.
Because I'm not sleeping as much is what it is.
Yeah. All right, Louie, feel free to throw us into the swing round here. What do you got for us?
Yep, so the swing round. So I was thinking of what topics and subjects to put in the swing round. And as an engineer, I do a lot of work with acronyms. And so I figured I'd quiz you all on some household acronyms, but I'm going to be a little forgiving. I'll ask for the acronym. I'll give you the letters, but I want only one of the specific letters. You don't need to tell me the entire acronym, just looking for one specific letter in that acronym.
Gotcha.
All right. So the first one for the swing round. So recording and playback device, VHS. I'm looking for the H in VHS. That is number 1. Number 2, video game company EA. I'm looking for the A in EA. Number 3, HDMI, like the television cord. I'm looking for the I in HDMI. Number 4, TV network CBS. I'm looking for the C. Number 5, TV network ESPN. I'm looking for the P in ESPN. Number 6 is technology company IBM. I'm looking for the B.
It's bowel, isn't it?
That's the other type of IB.
Number 7, telecommunication company AT&T. I'm looking for the second T, the last T in AT&T. Number 8, URL as in a web address. I'm looking for the U. Number 9, Disney Park Epcot. I'm looking for the P in Epcot. And last, number 10, fashion brand DKNY. I'm looking for the D.
Who's not, right?
I swear so many times me and Ken have the exact same joke queued up ready to go.
All right.
And there's always something.
All right. We'll be back after they consider these answers.
All the answers are locked in. So, Louie, let's go back through the questions.
Yep. So number 1, recording and playback device VHS. I was looking for the H. What did you guys have?
We'll start here, I suppose. This one we came to pretty quick. We believe it's home.
We also locked in with home.
Yep, and home was the correct answer there. Video home system. Awesome. Number 2, video game company EA. What did you have for the A?
Yeah, we said that's arts, like our good friend Matt.
Yeah, it was always a joke growing up that I would name my son Electronic so he can be Electronic Arts.
Yes, and the answer there was arts for electronic arts.
Louie, can you please give us your best EA Sports that's in the game?
Oh, gosh. All right. I got to bring my voice down a couple octaves here. So, EA Sports. It's in the game.
Very nice.
That's not bad,
Very
yeah.
nice.
I thought he was the guy for a second there.
Yeah, it's like I was in the room with you. All right. So number 3, HDMI, like the television cord. I was looking for the I in HDMI. What did you all have?
Yeah, this is what I like to call emoting from inside, and I call it interface.
And we weren't sure on this one, and so we guessed instrument.
So the answer here was interface. It is high definition multimedia interface. All right. Number 4, TV network CBS. What did the C stand for?
All right. We believe that one is the Columbia broadcast system, so we said Columbia.
Yeah, I drive past the studio every day on my way to work. I'd be remiss if I didn't know that was Columbia.
Yep. Points for both teams. Columbia is the answer here. So it's Columbia Broadcasting System. Number 5, another TV network, ESPN. What was the P in ESPN?
This one we had a little bit of trouble with, but we tried to reason it out, and we figured maybe ESPN stands for Entertainment Sports Programming Network, so we said programming.
And we had a similar conversation and also came up with programming.
Yep. The full acronym here is Entertainment and Sports Programming Network. So programming was the P there. Great.
Except for hockey.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6, technology company IBM. What was the B in IBM?
Well, we didn't know. We figured maybe that it was business.
Yeah, we also thought that it was business.
That is correct. B is for business in IBM.
Oh, Neal, you were singing a little song with that too, right?
Oh, yeah, it's business time.
Is that Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah, Flight
it's
of
a
the
really good
Conchords.
one.
Yeah.
All right. Number 7, telecommunication company AT&T. So what was the second T in AT&T?
Yeah, I kind of remember this one being American Telephone and Telegraph, so we said telegraph.
Stop.
Yeah, we also said telegraph.
Yep. Points all around. Telegraph.
Well,
It is
that
American Telephone and Telegraph.
is a useless letter.
This American Telegraph. Hello, stop. My name is Stop. Ira Glass. Stop. Welcome.
Right. Why didn't they just drop the letter once we got rid of the telegraph?
Because then they'd just be at.
Yeah, I don't really want to pay my money to at.
I don't really want to pay my money to AT&T either, but, you know, you got 2 choices pretty much.
All right. Number 8. So URL as in a web address. What was the U?
This one threw us for a loop a little bit. We know that like URL and HTML are often come up in trivia, but we still haven't really gotten them down. But we figured maybe it's universal.
Yeah, this is one that I feel like I've gotten wrong several times, and I think it is universal, but so that's what we locked in with.
And the answer here was actually uniform.
Yep.
So URL is Uniform Resource Locator. All right. Number 9, Disney Park Epcot. I was looking for the P. What did y'all have for answers?
So we think Epcot might be something prototype City of Tomorrow. So we didn't have to worry about the E, and so we think P's prototype. My favorite story, though, from Epcot, though, is I went there in 99 with my family. So my sister was like 3 years old, and we were watching the fireworks, and she wanted to get a better view. So she stuck her head through the fence. And apparently it was a one-way fence because we spent about 45 minutes with park services trying to dislodge her from the fence.
And that's the most fun you can have at Epcot.
Right.
It really is, yeah.
In
Do
the
they
city.
slather the sides of her head in butter, or how do they?
No, they literally just were like really patient, and like everyone tried to lightly compress her head back out.
Do you think when Walt Disney imagined the city of tomorrow, the futuristic city to represent all cities, that people's heads would get stuck in the fence? Probably not.
I hope so.
I've been to Epcot a few times, but never with quite as much of an event as Jeff had. But we didn't really know. Matt knew that it was City of Tomorrow, so we thought maybe it was. I don't even remember what we thought the E was now, but we guessed perfect.
So the answer for this one is prototype.
Nice.
The full acronym here is Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow.
Community, not city. Okay.
Last one for the swing round. I asked for the D in fashion brand DKNY.
Yeah. Just for all the clothing and purses that I own, I knew that this was Donna Karan. So we said Donna.
Yeah, I had no idea, but Erin knew that this was Donna for Donna Karan.
And that is correct. Donna for Donna Karan, New York.
All right, that concludes the swing round. It looks like Coast to Coast gained 35 points, bringing them to 105, maintaining a small lead. And Grandpa's Space Ghost, 45 points in the swing round. Now they're at 95. So now it's a 10-point game.
So we are going to go into round 2, which is another general knowledge round with a little bit of a twist. So the twist here is numbers. The answer is either going to be a number or it's going to have a number in the answer.
Okay.
All right. So we'll start off with round 2, question 1. We're going back to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan took a hiatus from the NBA in the 93-94 season. When he returned, he chose not to use his signature number 23. What number did he wear for his return?
We can lock in.
Yep, we're locked in over here.
Matt is considering. He doesn't know. Matt's having a real hard time with this one.
He just threw his Chicago Bulls hat on the ground in anger.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's he chose, it was his brother's number. His brother played in high school. He chose his number 23 because he wanted to be half as good as his brother. That's how the story goes. It's probably not true like most Michael Jordan stories, but he came back as number 45.
And Jeff?
We said number 45.
Yep, both teams nailed it. So he returned with the number 45.
And he also wore number 6 for one game one time because the equipment manager lost his uniform.
Was that guy fired probably, you think, or no?
I don't know. I think he's probably paid by the other team or something. So
I will say, as a quick side note, if you haven't seen The Last Dance, the documentary, how about the all-star of the documentary being his personal security guard who's playing coins with him or whatever and beat him? That was the best.
He does the shrug. Oh, yes. I love it.
So good.
Well, like that game where you throw the quarter close to the crack.
Yeah, and so his head of security, he's got this really curly hair, very like funny looking character. And after he beats Michael Jordan because he doesn't like losing, he does like the Michael Jordan shrug at him. It's so funny.
All right, moving on to question 2 of round 2. What Lil Wayne song samples Banana Boat, Deo by Harry Belafonte, and contains the rap lyric, Young Money Militia, and I am the commissioner. You don't want to start wheezy because the F is for finisher.
Also contains that real G's move in silence, like lasagna.
Like lasagna.
So we can lock in. Sorry.
Matt is a huge Lil Wayne fan.
I am.
I believe this one actually, it samples the lyric from Banana Boat, which is Harry Belafonte, I think. And I think it's 6 foot, 7 foot.
I'm very impressed that you do that. Yeah, 6 foot, 7 foot.
Yep, the answer here was 6 foot, 7 foot.
I do like Lil Wayne, but his verse on Chance the Rapper's can't remember the name of the song, but anyway, on Chance's latest record, No Problem, I think it's called. His verse is so lazy. I think he was just paid to be there, and he kind of just spit out something and took a check home.
Like his guitar solos when he picked up a guitar randomly and decided he was going to do that for a little bit.
Yes.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's a weird guy.
All right, question 3 in round 2. How many of the planets in our solar system are not named after a Roman god or goddess?
We're locked in.
Okay, I think all the planets then are. I know.
What's Earth named for?
So Earth.
I would know.
Earth is not. I don't think Saturn is. So and probably Neptune. Neptune is probably. So is Uranus?
I think so. So
maybe we're just looking at 2?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, 2.
We think actually they all might be, with exception of Earth. So we just said 1.
So I did throw a little wrench into here. So I specified Roman god or goddess. So the answer here is 2. The 2 planets being Earth and Uranus.
All right.
Uranus is actually named after, I think it's a Greek king.
Uranos.
You guys were right for the wrong reason.
You could have stopped after right. And I'll take it.
Okay, so we go to question 4 of round 2. There are 64 squares on a chessboard, but how many triangles are on a backgammon board?
God.
Good luck.
Does Phil Jackson know this one, Matt?
He's a big backgammon guy, so maybe.
We're just going to lock in because I don't even think I've ever seen a backgammon board, so I'm just going to guess.
You're just going to guess a number. All right, Erin, how's your backgammon game?
I think the last time I played backgammon, Reagan was probably in office, so it's a little hazy. I want to say like 16 or 32. I just can't remember how big it is.
Yeah, because it's usually like in one of those boards where you open it up.
Yeah,
so
like it's like a little
sides.
briefcase.
Yeah, so 32 would make sense, and then there'd be 16 on each side. Is that?
Yeah. That's either right or like a cartoonishly large backgammon board.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? No one plays this. So we'll say 32, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, 32 it is.
Okay.
Erin, when you first started talking, I thought you said you played backgammon with President Reagan. That's what my brain computed, and I was like, oh man, that must have been really intense. But we didn't know. As I said, I've never seen a backgammon board.
When he wins, does it go, this one's for the gift?
Oh, I thought we were going to get through one Reagan reference without the...
Jeff actually, I was stretching it out to wait to see if Ken thought one was coming, but then hit him with one like a jab, but Jeff got it.
After the question, I was going to say, I'm glad we got through that. We couldn't.
We decided to go with a television show that probably would have been one of Reagan's favorite. We said 24.
All right, so the answer here was actually 24.
Oh, Jeff,
wow.
Nice.
What is this? Guessing. That's crazy.
I got one included in my probably mostly a chess and checkers set. So I have the board somewhere. I never play it, but...
Oh, that's it. So you somehow like soaked up the knowledge by owning it?
I don't know. I just saw it in my head and I was just like, that sounds like a good round number.
You feel good now, but then Louie's going to throw in how many pieces are in Mancala, and then we're screwed.
Well, next question, no. Number 5 in round 2. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, Mrs. Vasilyeva of the Russian Federation has the world record for most children born to one mother. Within 10, how many children is she credited with giving birth to? I sure hope they were nice to her.
Yeah, we can lock in.
Really?
They're Jeff's kids.
I know this exact number.
No wonder you sired so many children. Oh my God. Right.
Yeah, so you got to be looking at a big number then.
You have to remember when I was a kid that I was like a real dork and I had the Guinness Book of World Records and I saw her in there and it listed like with the breakdowns and I was like, I still couldn't figure out how it was possible.
All right. Well, I think that the clue was hoping that they were nice to her, meaning that I'm immature, and I think that the answer is 69. and hopefully it's within 10. So we're gonna say the old 69.
Yeah, we too went 69.
And I just want to say that the way that Jeff wrote the number 69 on the paper really does its purpose. That's as far as I'll go with that. But he really wrote it in a questionable way.
And just for us, we want to say 69, and it's Russian, so we had Google Maps, of course. But Google, tell us.
69.
So there you go.
Well, it sounded dirty.
Yeah.
Nice. So the answer here was 69.
Oh, right.
And the breakdown was 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets.
Have they made a documentary about this? They should, find all the kids and see what they're doing, and that'd be really fascinating.
Isn't that the Umbrella Academy? I don't know.
They're all super-powered children.
That's what it's about.
They were all born on the same day.
Oh, gee.
All right, that brings
Looking
Coast
low.
to Coast up to 145. Still trailing by 10. Grandpa Space Ghost with 135.
So speaking of 5 questions into the second round, Erin, you told us a fun fact about your husband in the number 5, and it's his 5 favorite movies, and 2 of them are 2 movies that we would like, I heard?
Yes. One is actually over your shoulder right now. So Roadhouse and Point Break are in his top 5, and they are far from my top 5, but I still watch them a lot anyway.
Well, it's good. And we heard that he isn't really big into trivia, but you're trying to get him to listen to the show. So maybe he will now, knowing that we have a Roadhouse poster in our studio.
Yeah, between the movies and the wrestling, and I think you guys talk about craft beer a lot. This is the trivia podcast for him.
Awesome. We appreciate that support.
Are the other 3 movies all Air Bud movies?
No, Shawshank, Close Encounters, and Spinal Tap.
Oh,
This guy's
classics.
got Neil's number.
There's like 3 of those for sure are in Neil's top 5.
Yeah, when we can hang out in person, tell him that he's got a date with me. We'll hang out. I'll bring the popcorn.
All right, continuing in round 2. Question number 6. Rocko's Modern Life aired on Nickelodeon from 1993 to 1996. What band, formed in 1976, performed the theme song for seasons 2 through 4?
We can lock in.
Okay, Rocko's Modern Life show I used to love watching. I believe the way that the song went, they were like, Rocko's Modern Life, and it sounds like B-52s to me, the lead singer.
Could be.
So we're going to go B-52s.
Yep, and for the same reason, that's a very identifiable voice. It's B-52s.
Points to both teams. Yep, the answer here was the B-52s.
Who we saw at Riot Fest. Were you there for that, Ken?
I was watching somebody else. I wanted to see the B-52s. Who was playing alongside them? I can't remember, but
Yeah,
it was
they were super fun.
It was
super
more
fun
important to me. Maybe Ride or something weird.
2020 is a crazy year. I think we've had like 6 Riot Fest references on the show because it's not happening.
Yeah, we're just lusting after Riot Fest right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when you saw B-52s live, did they play the Rocko's Modern Life theme song? Or
They did not. No, it was just Love Shack for 25 minutes.
See, that's a shame because Bowling for Soup plays the Phineas and Ferb live when you see them.
The singer is the voice of Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Why do we always talk about Bowling for Soup?
I don't know.
Crazy.
They're so good. That's why.
It's crazy how not prevalent they are in pop culture and how much we talk about them.
That's their magic, though, is they just, everyone talks about them and they just continue to be relevant.
I was at work the other day, Matt, and I saw a pizza box for one in the recycling, and I thought, oh, that's sad. And then I noticed that it was Chuck E. Cheese takeout pizza, and I went, oh my God, this person needs help.
Oh, our friend Kevin, by the way, me and Ken, he decided to go on DoorDash and order a Chuck E. Cheese pizza. Who orders takeout from Chuck E. Cheese just for yourself without having the arcade games? I don't get it.
Or
and then,
children.
Yeah, and then Charles showed up at the door in full costume, but, you know.
do you have to have a kid at your door to take the pizza?
Otherwise, they call the police.
Yeah.
And just for the record, the B-52s played against American football, Matt. So I'm surprised you were a B-52s camp.
Yeah, well, you can only hear "Never Meant" so many times
Until you start crying.
Yeah. I needed a pick me up at that time, not to come down. So,
All right, moving on to question 7 of round 2. Louis the Great, not me, also known as the Sun King, was the king of France for 72 years, from 1643 to 1715, the longest reign of any monarch of a sovereign country in European history. What number Louis was he? A number that Franklin Pierce may have also been fond of.
you guys are locked in?
Mm-hmm.
So initially, in my head, I thought Louis the 16th, but with the Franklin Pierce clue, I know Lincoln was the 16th president, so that's obviously not right.
Was Franklin Pierce the 13th president then?
No, Millard Fillmore was 13th. I don't know why I know that.
Those are the 2 you know for sure.
Yes,
Because that
I'm
episode
solid
on
on.
Rugrats where the Jeopardy parody finale answer was Millard Fillmore.
Yes.
She did win the Golden Dalmatian, by the way.
Oh my God. I was just going to say that. You know that episode as well as I do.
I think maybe 14th, unless he was before. I don't think he was before Fillmore, because I think Buchanan was immediately before Lincoln.
Yeah, that sounds right. And Tyler was before those two? I don't know.
Yeah, Tyler was when William Henry Harrison died, which was in the 1840s.
Okay.
So
we're getting up to it.
So I think 14?
Yeah. That Louis the 14th sounds like a thing I've heard before. So with that confidence, I think we can lock in with 14.
We had a very similar conversation with the presidents and everything. I remember the 14th. I think Louis even said he was the sun king and sun god. I remember he had like a chest armor that had a sun on it that kind of spanned the entire chest area. And I think, Ken will have to correct me if I'm wrong, I think Leonardo DiCaprio played King Louis the 14th in Man in the Iron Mask. So
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. I know you watched that recently, though. You told me about it at least. But I think it's the 14th. That's what we went with.
All right. Yep. The answer was the 14th.
All right.
Yep. Franklin Pierce being the 14th U.S. president. So question number 8 in round 2, a little bit of sports math. I'm going to give you 3 clues. You're going to take the numbers, add them together, and you tell me what number you get in the end. So sports math, what number do you get if you add how many strokes under par an albatross is? Second clue here is Brett Favre's jersey number. And number 3 is the maximum number of times one team can hit the ball on their side of the court in volleyball. And with the albatross, it's under par, but use the positive integer here.
The absolute value.
The absolute value.
The absolute value of albatross.
We are locked in over here.
So we talked about albatross. Pretty sure that's 3 under. It goes birdie, eagle, albatross. Brett Favre, famously number 4. And then for volleyball, you're looking at bump, set, spike. Usually that's what you want. So 3. And altogether we got 10. So 10 it is.
Similar math here. We said 10.
Yep, points to both teams. So albatross is 3 under par. Brett Favre's jersey number famously is 4. And the volleyball is bump, set, spike 3. So the answer here is 10. Great job.
And each team gets 10 points for that.
There you go.
Question number 9 in round 2. What number is superstitiously believed to be cursed in the history of classical music due to the belief that it would be a composer's last symphony, the most famous example being Beethoven?
We are locked in.
What do you know about classical music?
Not very much.
So when I think of Beethoven,
Beethoven's
the one,
Fifth, right? That's his famous one.
yeah, because I always saw parody shirts of Beethoven holding a fifth of vodka, and it's hilarious every time. Good shirt, frat bros. So 5th is what springs to mind, but I think that one's completed then, right? If it's this famous one.
I think so, but maybe was that his last one?
It could be. If he's so famous, he only did 5. Like, I don't know. Come on, right? But maybe that's me judging. I apologize. I guess we could go with 5th. It's the one that jumped out to us, right?
Yeah. I mean, the only other thing I thought of was, could it be 7, which would be ironic because that's like considered a lucky number otherwise. But Beethoven's 5th is definitely what the one thing I know about Beethoven.
Yeah, and 7 is actually superstitious, unlucky, I believe, in Japanese culture. Is that right, Ken?
I don't know.
He knows.
He knows.
I was like, I know in China it's 4 is unlucky.
Yeah, because 4 is my favorite number, but in China it's not.
Yeah, whatever. So I guess maybe we just go with 5th.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right. I could be way off now that hearing your discussion, but I believe Beethoven's Unfinished Symphony was his 9th symphony, so we said 9.
So there are points this round. 9 was the right answer. His 9th symphony. There were other composers like Schubert and Mahler and a couple of others, but Beethoven's the most notable example for the 9th.
So Matt would have been back in those times like, come on, man, you only got to 9 symphonies? It's not good enough.
Matt is frozen.
Matt, at the comment of accosting Beethoven, Matt's just frozen now.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, he's back.
And he's back. Back again.
I'm back. Woo. Tell your friends.
Yeah, Matt is using the original IBM He bought it from eBay, and he's just trying to get used to it.
All right, so we're on to the final question of regulation.
Yep, final question of round 2. The television show Community had started a meta hashtag that was originally intended for the TV show The Cape, but was ultimately adopted by the Community fan base. What was the hashtag?
We're good.
Yeah, Jeff knows. I was waiting for you to lock in. Erin, do you know it?
I don't.
It's hashtag 6 seasons and a movie.
That show's never coming back.
6 seasons and a movie.
Yeah, we said 6 seasons and a movie.
Yep, the answer here is 6 seasons and a movie. Good job. Community is my favorite show, so that's kind of a little bit of a nod. If you ever do a bonus episode of Community, I want in on that.
Oh, it's in
the people are asking for.
It's in the works. Yeah, you'll have to be on it.
It got to 6 seasons, didn't it?
Yes.
Even though the last one was like on Yahoo.com or something like.
Yep.
All right, that brings us to the end of regulation. In that last 5 questions, Grandpa Space Ghost drew even, so we're at 185 to 185.
Wow. Well, Louie, I know you have some great final round categories for us. Before we get to that, just wanted to thank you both for being Patreon supporters. If you'd like to join Erin and Louie, you can do so at patreon.com/Triviality Podcast. And Jeff, why don't you just tell the folks at home? I know we have some brand new tier names and perks under those names, but what are some things that people are going to get if they can join us at Patreon?
Absolutely. Thank you, Neal. So, yes, bonus episodes are our main forte over there. Matt just introduced the new crop drop, so you're getting 2 bonus episodes a month. Posters, basically just check us out. Patreon.com/Triviality Podcast. If you can contribute to the success of the show, we greatly appreciate it. We say there's perks at every level that people will enjoy. We've worked really hard on those, and it's one of the most satisfying things we do every month, shipping those things out to people. So,
yeah, help me get a new computer. For the love of God.
Well, Louie, what do you have in store for us for the final round?
It's the final wager round here. Got 5 questions. The topics are What a Twist, In the Red, White, and Blue Corner, Fast Fashion, A Bad Professional, and Face the Music.
Okay, the wagers are now in. It looks like Coast to Coast is going to be doing 20s all the way down, and Grandpa Space Ghost 30s all the way down. So let's see how it pans out.
All right, great. So question number 1, what a twist. This is the only actor to play a character killed by a Terminator in 1984, a Xenomorph in 1986, and a Predator in 1990. All right, number 2, in the Red, White, and Blue Corner. What WWE superstar won the U.S. a gold medal in freestyle wrestling at the 1996 Olympics with a broken neck? Number 3, fast fashion. The Kelly bag is a fashionable women's purse brought to fame by Grace Kelly after filming Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief. What designer brand created this godly bag? Number 4, a bad professional. There are 206 bones in the human body. The world record for most fractures is 433. Who has this record? All right, number 5, Face the Music. The band Weezer had their first show in 1992 where they opened for this Hollywood actor's excellent band, Dogstar.
All right, they'll take a couple minutes to think these over, and we'll be right back. All right, all the answers are now locked in. So with 20 all the way down again, Coast to Coast, and with 30 all the way down, Grandpa Space Ghost, let's see how they did.
So for number 1, what a twist. The only actor to play a character killed by a Terminator in 1984, or Xenomorph in 1986, and a Predator in 1990. Who was it?
Yeah, we wagered 20. I had no idea. Erin, what did you say this was?
This is a guess, but we guessed Michael Biehn.
Yep, over here, Michael Biehn is very close. He was in Terminator, the original. He was in Aliens, not Alien. Or I guess it was just one of them. But he was not in Predator 2, which was 1990. So we said Bill Paxton.
Yep, and the correct answer here is Bill Paxton. Number 2, in the Red, White, and Blue Corner. So what WWF WWE superstar won the U.S. a gold medal in freestyle wrestling at the 1996 Olympics with a broken neck?
Yeah, this was wager 20. Very famously wore his gold medal to the ring when he first debuted and that kind of stuff. I said Kurt Angle.
You suck. But no, that's for Kurt Angle. Yes, we also said Kurt Angle.
Yep, and the answer there is Kurt Angle. Number 3, fast fashion. The Kelly bag is a fashionable women's purse I asked what designer brand created this bag.
Yeah, and it's pretty well known out in my neck of the woods. It's a Hermes.
Yeah, designer of needlessly expensive straps for Apple Watches. We said Hermes.
Matt butchers the language, doesn't he?
He's not Hollywood yet. He's almost there, but until he starts saying Hermes.
Hermes.
Yep, and the clue there, fast fashion, godly bag, Hermes. Number 4, bad professional. There are 206 bones in the human body. The world record for most fractures is 433. Who has this record?
Weren't really sure, but it's the guy who's fallen off his motorcycle quite a bit. We said Evel Knievel.
And I think he broke probably 20 of them in one accident alone. I think this is Evel Knievel.
Both teams nailed it, so it is Evel Knievel. And then the last question for the final round here, Face the Music. The band Weezer had their first show in 1992, where they opened for this Hollywood actor's excellent band, Dogstar. What did you have?
Yeah, we think this is Keanu Reeves.
And yes, the co-star of your husband's, one of his top movies, Erin, we said Keanu Reeves.
Both teams got this one too. Keanu Reeves is the correct answer.
All right, that will conclude the game. Looks like Coast to Coast ended with a very respectable 245, but in the final round, fortune favored the bold, and gaining a perfect score of 150 in the final round is Grandpa Space Ghost with 335, the cream of the crop.
Yeah, that was a wonderfully written game, Louie. That final round, I think, just really kind of fell into our favor with movies, wrestling, fashion, Keanu Reeves, and stunts. So it just
all Neal's specialties.
Yeah, right. But yeah, we really appreciated that game. And
if you swap the Daredevil out for Magic Performers, I think that would have been Neal's perfect swing round.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Louie, any shout outs or final words from you for this game?
Yeah, with quarantine going on, I'm just playing a lot of online trivia, so I'll just shout out to all the groups I play with. So First Round Jokers, Sidewalk Cracking Cod Squad, the Socially Distant New York crew, my girlfriend Audrey, and the folks over at The Crop. They're a great bunch of people, and it's been awesome to kind of interact with everyone on there.
That's awesome. And thank you again for being a play tester. It's really nice. So if anyone has a game that you will be hosting for us, if we've scheduled you, make sure that you post in The Crop, and hopefully Louie will be one of the play testers. And
it's like the bat signal.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And speaking of your game, question 10 in the first round, your girlfriend doesn't have to worry that there's an Audrey too. Is that correct?
Exactly. Actually, I put that in there because that was her favorite question. So.
Oh, okay, good. Well, shout out to her. Erin, how about you? Any shout outs or final words from you?
Yeah, just thank you so much for this opportunity. This was really fun. Really enjoy listening to the podcast and, like Louie said, interacting with folks on The Crop. And shout out to my Patrick Swayze loving husband, Sean, and kids, Tyler and Zoe, and dog, Rudy. We're all spending a lot of quality time together these days. And everyone just keep wearing your masks and be healthy.
Great words. Appreciate both of you joining us and being Patreon supporters. Until next time, for Louie, Erin, Hollywood, Matt, Jeff, Ken, myself, and everyone else out there, and to you, Sean, vaya con Dios, and that was Triviality.
We need a second. We got the giggles in the studio here. Neal's about to lose his water.
What's happening?
Neal took a sip and now he's spitting it out because he's having a fit.
Oh, an actual spit take.
Oh, my mask is all wet now. Oh, my pants are soaked.